Hey guys, what's up? It's just Connor here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about why I don't think that you should be starting a business in 2023. Now, this is coming from somebody who has started and failed multiple businesses, spent $80,000 on their own skills, training, and education, and more recently, started and made successful a really successful marketing agency, and pulled all of that down and went back to what I knew best and what I love doing, which is sales, right? Because I'm going to have a suggestion at the end what I recommend that you do instead of this stuff. But let me go ahead and give you my reasons why. So really there's two things. It's skills and capital. So the first things first, when it comes to starting any type of business, when it comes to affiliate marketing, e-commerce, drop shipping, marketing agency, any type of business, a lot of these times it's going to require you to have capital up front, to resources to invest in that business so that you can make more money and more profits. Right now, here's the problem with that. A lot of people don't have a substantial amount of funding to put towards running a business. And if they do run it, let's say they have $3,000 or $4,000 and they spend that on their capital allocation towards either getting clients or getting new customers, like affiliate marketing or e-commerce drop shipping, whatever that medium of business might be, right? Whatever, I guess, path you choose to take. If you do that and let's say you put it all on red, right? You put it all on red, you take the risk, you try and start your own business, you won't have many skills that you pull from it to which you can make money off, right? With sales, which is primarily what I guess I teach and what I do personally, is you're left with a skill afterwards, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. But a lot of the times, most people don't actually talk about the capital required in order to be successful with a lot of these businesses that you've talked about or heard about. So, YouTube automation, affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA, marketing agency, right? Just to name a few. There are so many out there. I can't really name them all, but I've seen them, I've heard them, and I've done a multitude of them, right? I failed at a lot of them, and now was that because I just wasn't focused and I didn't put enough effort in? Absolutely. Was it because I got distracted? Absolutely. But one of the reasons was because I didn't realize how much capital that I needed to allocate or put forward up front to actually make these businesses successful. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that with my own marketing agency that I started back in October of 2022, right? So I started my own marketing agency back in 2022, and I spent about 10,000 USD on the coaching, consulting, and training to help me start that marketing agency to get all the right skills I needed to do, so the right information. On top of that, I paid for an email build, which was about like $1,100, which was like an acquisition system that completely flopped, didn't work. And then I spent $1,100 per month on my virtual assistant team, which was to help me get more clients for my marketing agency. Now, at that point in time, I didn't have any excess cash flow coming in because I was going fully devoted towards the agency. And I was constantly churning through costs, and got to the point where I almost went broke. I had about 90 days left of savings, living expenses, and to keep the VAs up to scratch to make sure that they're getting paid. Before I was completely dead broke, right? And the reason why I don't suggest anybody else do that is because it's really risky. And the only reason that I survived there and thrived was because I was good at sales initially, because I'd done that for the past 4+ years before even starting a business. And that comes to my next point, is the skills that are required to start a business, right? Which is more than likely, if you're watching this video, something that you probably lack, right? You probably begin into the online space. You may or may not have, looked at a multitude of different businesses that you can start, but long story short, you have a lack of skill, right? And that's not an attack on you in any way, shape, or form. But what I mean by this is when you start a business, let's say a marketing agency, a content agency, from my example of the different skills that I needed. I needed to have the skill of building systems, the skill of fulfillment, expectations, delivery, sales, marketing, outbound lead acquisitions, leadership, just to name a few, right? Video editing, which is the primary function of delivery for my agency when I was running it, right? Which I've dialed back to roughly around 10K a month. But back then, because I scaled it from 0 to 40K a month in less than 90 days, it was purely because of my knowledge of sales and because of my previous networks. In fact, the methods that I actually used inside the program that I spent $10,000 on, by the way, just for reference, only got me 2 clients, right? So with, I think, the 12 plus clients that I actually had, primarily a lot of that came from old networks that I built in the past. So when it comes to starting these businesses, it's not as easy as you actually might think. It's definitely simple, it's definitely achievable, and it's definitely realistic, but there's a lot more risk, there's a lot more capital that's required, and there's a lot more skills you actually need to put into that business to actually become successful. The reason I say this is because I've lived and breathed this. 4 or 5 plus years ago, before I even got started into remote sales or high ticket selling, I tried everything. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried doing my own market agency before I was successful. I got scammed a bunch of times. I spent a few $1,000s on courses, and the thing that I found was, again, when I kind of peeled the veil away, right? I guess the curtains, and saw behind the scenes, is it's just simply not as easy as it's touted to be, right? And that comes with e-commerce, dropshipping, and all these other different models. So with that in mind, skills and capital are probably the 2 main reasons why you shouldn't be starting your own business just yet in 2023. Absolutely, you can do that in the future. And one of the business models that I did forget to mention is coaching. But again, with coaching, you still have to have a multitude of different skills you have to develop. And you can build these businesses, depending on what you're talking about, through just pure sheer hard work and organic work. But for some people, you're just definitely not cut out for that. And I totally understand, because I'm not cut out for that either, right? And hence why I didn't get results doing it that way, right? Now, with all that in mind, what do I suggest that you do instead, right? Now, this might sound as a bias, but, coming from this is what I do. It's remote sales. And that's what I recommend that you would do, right? The reason why is you don't need any capital. You don't need all these crazy amount of skills. You just need to get good at one thing, and you're already servicing an opportunity that's already there. It exists, right? People want to pay you money to sell more of their stuff. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. I don't have to do, I will do a video explaining this in the near future, but you just need to utilize someone's already existing business. They've done all the work for you. You just need to guide someone from who might be potentially interested in what you're selling and what you're buying to, if that is the potential solution, basically selling that prospect or that potentially interested person into it, taking their credit card details. You get paid straight commission right after you've sold the person, and you're done, right? That's pretty much what remote sales is in a nutshell. And if you're a little bit unsure, maybe go ahead and check out my Instagram. We've got a few carousel posts that might describe that a little bit more in detail. But that is why I don't suggest that you start a business in 2023, at least not yet, right? Because you don't have the right amount of skills. And a lot of people aren't relatively, willing to take that amount of risk, especially that I took when it comes to starting my own agency. And to kind of finish off the video here, I've seen the dark side of what it looks like of when you invest money and you don't get the result. I've seen people invest the same amount that I have in the same training programs, so like $10,000, and not get the results that they were looking for, right? And they either ended up going broke, they had to return back to their job, or they're severely in high amounts of debt, right? The cool thing with sales is that once you learn sales and once you get good at it, if you're not going to be poor by learning more, right? It's a great quote by Alex Mosey. It's the same thing when it comes to sales. The more you learn about sales, you're not going to be more poor, right? You're going to just earn more, right? That's basically the simple strategy at the end of the day. Okay. So there you have it. There's why I don't think that you should be starting a business in 2023. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Comment down below. And yeah, that's it from me. All right, I'll see you in the next video.